All right, today we are diving deep into the massive, and I mean massive transformation happening in the telecom industry. You know, the companies that connect our entire world, well, they're at this huge turning point, and the moves they make next are going to affect everything from the phone in your pocket to how our cities work. Let's get right into it.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped and wondered why your phone company is suddenly trying to be more like Amazon? Why are they trying to sell you stuff that has nothing to do with your phone plan? That's the big question, and it's really at the heart of what we're talking about today.
You know, there's a real paradox here. The telecom companies, they built the very foundation of our digital world, all that 3G and 4G infrastructure that let everything else flourish. But now they're in this really tough spot, basically fighting to stay relevant and make a profit in the world they helped create. So we're going to break down exactly what that challenge looks like and the brand new playbook they're hoping will lead them to success.
To really get why telcos need this new playbook, you first have to understand the massive challenges they're up against. And honestly, it's like a perfect storm hitting the industry from 4 different directions all at once.
Okay, first, let's talk about the money problem. We're using more data than ever before. I mean, think about it. Streaming, gaming, connecting every device in your house. You think this would mean huge profits for the companies providing the connection, right? Well, not exactly. This chart really tells the whole story. Data usage is just through the roof, but revenue for the telcos? It's basically flatlined. And you have to ask why. It's because the over-the-top providers, think Netflix, WhatsApp, all those guys, they're the ones capturing all the value. They build these amazing services on the networks that telcos spent billions to build, and the telcos themselves are left struggling to monetize all that traffic.
And here's the second major headache. The future is super uncertain. Telcos are pouring billions into 5G and the whole Internet of Things. But here's the kicker. They haven't figured out a clear way to make money from it yet, other than just, selling you a faster connection. The business model is a huge question mark. And the scale of this thing is just mind-boggling. We're talking about a projected 30 times billion connected devices by 2026. That's billions of watches, cars, fridges, factory sensors, all needing a network. The big question is still just hanging there. How do the telcos actually capture a piece of that enormous pie?
So challenge number 3 is that their own digital efforts have pretty much failed. I mean, after all these years of investing in websites and apps, most of us still end up in a physical store or on the phone with a call center. For a lot of the top telcos, less than 15% of their business actually happens online.
So why is it so bad? Well, for one, their products are just way too complicated to buy without a salesperson holding your hand. On top of that, a lot of their online experiences just feel like clunky digital copies of old-school in-store paperwork. And maybe worst of all, even with all the data they have on us, their systems are just too slow to give us those personalized deals we've come to expect from digital leaders like Amazon. And the final headwind? It's just this constant storm of outside pressures. They're trying to navigate this crazy maze of new regulations, a huge increase in cybersecurity threats, and all of our growing demands for data privacy. It's a really complex battlefield, and it's changing all the time. Okay, so things sound pretty tough, right? But here's where the story pivots, because their biggest challenge, it might also be their biggest opportunity, and its name is 5G. Seriously, this isn't just another G. It's a fundamental shift that could change literally everything.
Just look at this comparison. It shows what an incredible leap we're taking from 4G to 5G. It's not just about things being ultra-fast. It's that near-zero latency. That means almost zero delay. And the massive capacity means we can connect billions of devices at once without anything slowing down. This is the stuff that makes things like self-driving cars and remote surgery actually possible.
But here's the secret weapon for 5G. It works hand in hand with something called edge computing. The easiest way to think about it is bringing the cloud way closer to you. So instead of your data traveling to some faraway server, it gets processed right there at the edge of the network, maybe on a cell tower just down the street. This makes things way faster and opens up a ton of new possibilities, letting telcos go from being just a simple pipe to being a real platform for innovation.
So with this incredibly powerful new tech in their hands, how do they actually win? Well, it all comes down to a new 5-point playbook that's built for this completely new digital world.
So here's the roadmap. First, they've got to fix their digital channels. Second, monetize all that data they're sitting on. Third, modernize their ancient systems. Fourth, sprinkle AI on everything. And finally, expand into totally new areas. And what's really important to see is how all these steps are connected. You can't just do one and call it a day. They all have to work together. All right, let's start with fixing those broken digital channels. The key insight is right here in this quote. It all starts with simplification. If a product isn't easy and intuitive to understand, people just won't use the app or the website. It's that simple. Telcos have to get rid of their thousands of confusing plans and offers and just make it easy.
So the playbook is pretty clear. First, simplify the products. Second, adopt a seamless omni-channel strategy. That means your experience online and in the store should feel like one single thing. Think about how well Starbucks or Disney do this. And third, use AI to automate the huge majority of customer service calls, just like Amazon does.
Okay, the second play is all about monetizing the absolute goldmine of data they have. Telcos have this incredible view into what we all do. The strategy is to team up with companies in totally different industries to create new services. Things like using anonymous foot traffic data for retail marketing insights, or even providing credit scoring services.
Now, to do any of this cool new stuff, they have to get past a huge roadblock: their old, clunky systems. You'll hear these acronyms thrown around a lot, OSS and BSS, but what in the world are they?
So, to put it simply, these are basically the ancient software brains of the entire operation. OSS is what manages the network itself, and BSS handles the business side of things, like sending you a bill. The problem is they're often decades old, they're slow, and they just can't handle the fast, real-time services that 5G makes possible. So modernizing them is absolutely essential for everything else to work.
Now, the fourth part of this playbook is about applying AI. And this isn't just some buzzword. It has really powerful, practical uses. You're seeing AI used for everything from customer service chatbots like Vodafone's Toby to predicting network outages before they even happen. And it's the key to creating those hyper-personalized offers we were talking about earlier.
And that brings us to the fifth and final play, expansion. This is all about using their core strengths, their trusted brand, their huge customer base, their data, to push into completely new industries. We're already seeing this happen, with telcos moving into banking and payments and becoming major players in things like financial services.
So why does all this corporate strategy stuff actually matter to you and me? Well, because the future of our connected world, everything from smart cities and autonomous cars to remote healthcare, it all depends on the telcos actually pulling off this transformation successfully.
Which brings us to our final big question. The entire industry is standing at a crossroads. Will our phone companies just sort of fade into the background and become a simple utility provider, kind of like the water company? Or will they execute this new playbook and become the innovative, dynamic platforms that actually power the next digital revolution? The answer to that is being written as we speak.